All right, today we're pulling back the curtain on the brain that's running inside our most advanced AI. This is the engine that is, right now, completely changing our world. I mean, have you ever really stopped to wonder how your phone instantly knows it's you? Or how a translation app can actually understand slang and idioms? And self-driving cars, how on earth do they navigate a chaotic street all by themselves? It honestly feels like magic, but it's not. The answer is surprisingly elegant. The answer is deep learning. This is the powerhouse behind today's smartest machines. It's the reason they feel so, well, smart. So the big question is, how do you even build a mind like that from the ground up? Well, it all kicks off with this really core idea, building an artificial brain. So let's unpack exactly what that means. So what is it, really? Deep learning is a special type of machine learning, but its secret sauce is its structure. See, it's built on what we call artificial neural networks, which is just a fancy term for algorithms that are directly inspired by the web of neurons in our own brains. The whole point isn't to write a bunch of rules for it to follow. Nope. The goal is to create a system that can learn and adapt all on its own. And here's where the difference becomes crystal clear. Traditional machine learning, it's kind of like a simple checklist. A spam filter might just scan for keywords like winner or free money. But deep learning is so much more sophisticated. It reads the entire email. It analyzes the context, the tone, all the hidden patterns that a simple keyword search would just completely miss. It's the difference between following a recipe and actually being a creative chef. Okay, so we know it's inspired by the brain. But how does this artificial mind actually, learn? Let's take a journey inside. Imagine you show it a picture of a cat. That image is the raw data, and it goes right into the input layer. Then it passes through a whole series of hidden layers. The first layer might just spot basic stuff like edges and lines. The next one combines those into corners and simple shapes. The layer after that might start to recognize things that look like eyes or ears. Each layer gets a little smarter, a little more complex, building on the last one, until finally, the output layer makes its prediction. Yep, that's a cat. This incredible learning process gives AI what is basically a modern superpower. And what's wild is that you are already using this technology every single day, and you probably don't even realize it. So what makes it so powerful? First, it can process just mind-boggling amounts of data, way more than any human could. Second, and this is the absolute key, it learns on its own. You don't program it to look for whiskers. It figures that out by itself after looking at thousands of cat photos. And because of this, it can reach and in some cases even blow past human-level performance on certain tasks. Just think about it for a second. The face recognition that unlocks your phone, that's deep learning. Those natural, flowing conversations you have with ChatGPT or the instant translations you get from Google, that's a field called natural language processing, and it's powered by deep learning. And when you talk to Alexa, or when a doctor uses AI to spot the early signs of a disease in an X-ray, well, that's deep learning at work, all around us. But, and this is a big but, for all its power, it's not perfect. Like any technology, this one has its own blind spots. And they are, frankly, fascinating. For one, it's incredibly data hungry. It needs just massive, massive data sets to learn from. It also demands huge amounts of computing power, which means very powerful and very expensive hardware. But maybe the most perplexing trade-off is what's known as the black box problem. Think about that. We can build a system that can identify cancer better than a human doctor, but sometimes we can't actually get it to explain why it made that diagnosis. We know the information we put in, we see the answer that comes out, but the reasoning process, the stuff that happens inside all those hidden layers, it can be a complete mystery, even to the people who created it. So deep learning is the engine making AI feel almost human. It's powerful, it's everywhere, and its ability to learn is accelerating all the time. Which leaves us with one final, pretty fascinating question to think about. If this artificial brain never stops learning, what will it think of next?